Just give us a few seconds. We should be live anytime soon. Awesome, awesome. We should be live. Let me have my stuff here open here real quick. So
We are live.
awesome. Welcome, guys, to another Monday here at Operation 11 Charlie. Very grateful you guys are here hanging out with us. Hanging out with us, veterans and whatnot, some of our guys here. Today we have a special guest, Anthony Roberts, right, from Steadfast for Veterans. Welcome, Anthony. How you doing, brother?
Pretty good. How about yourself?
Doing good, man. Awesome, awesome. We'll be talking to Anthony in a few. We're gonna be discussing real quick some of the stuff that happened this weekend about around Operation 11 Charlie and some other stuff. So, Sean Jay, how you doing, brother?
Doing great. Glad to be here. And welcome to Tony over here. Appreciate you being here with us.
Thank you for the invite.
Awesome, awesome, brother. Dennis, how we doing, brother?
Good. Another Monday.
Another Monday, right? Now we can talk about real quick, Dennis. Will we continue with the guys? How about CowRC, man? That the raffles, how the
Oh my
community
God.
support that raffle and whatnot. That beautiful rig is, huh?
Ricky just jumped in the chat too.
Oh, Rick's RC crawler is the one who won the rig, man. Wow, man. What an amazing, beautiful rig. All the stuff that he won. That's awesome, man. Congratulations, man. I can't wait to I want to see it in person. Hopefully I can see it in person one time, man. But how was that, Dennis?
Oh my God. I couldn't believe how much they surpassed the last one that they did.
Mm-hmm.
What an amazing truck. And just all the people that joined in and donated, regardless if they win or not.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And for the people that did $100 purchases just to get a chance to win a banner. Amazing. They brought in over $3,094
That was awesome. Awesome.
on that raffle.
Yes, we are so grateful that our guy, it's incredible how about the RC community, and a bunch of guys that jump in and for that support. It's incredible. Huge shout out to CowRC, everybody that was involved in this raffle, right, Dennis? It's just
Yeah.
incredible, man.
Adam, Heath, Tyler, all the CowRC drivers, everybody in chat that's jumped in, everyone on the panel. You know, the organization can't thank you guys enough for what you did.
Yes, 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 yes.
CowRC has gone above and beyond
Yeah, yeah.
to help out the organization and the veterans. I mean,
Yes, yes.
Ricky
very
said he'll be taking that to Beat the Creek, so we'll have to make
Awesome,
sure that
awesome.
he takes it over to the booth.
Awesome, so we can see it. That's so awesome, man.
all right, Ricky,
Awesome
we're
stuff.
gonna have you over at our campground with that truck.
That's good stuff, man. Good stuff there. So awesome, awesome. Uh, Joe, how was your weekend, brother? I know you have been very busy at work, right?
Yeah, I was up north to work 2 days and then came home and then had family up there this weekend. I had family, one of my wife's family members passed away, so we had a celebration
Oh,
of life this weekend. So
true.
yes, a lot of traveling,
Yeah,
but
sorry for your loss, brother. Oh,
thank you.
got you, brother. See, Bennett is occupied. Isaac as well. Josh, how was your weekend, brother?
Good weekend, kind of lazy. Went to a swap meet and then didn't find much, and then went to our local hobby shop shutting down. So
Oh,
kind of sad went in there, and one of the guys there is like, "Hey man, help me out buy this truck." I'm like, "Man, I don't need another truck. Come on, man." So now I have a RC four-wheel drive.
Get a good deal.
Yeah, pretty
That's all
good.
that matters. That's all that
It's a
matters.
basket. It's a basket case. I got it about fixed, but yeah.
working on stuff. Is that the hobby shop that you guys do all the comps and stuff?
No, no, it
Okay,
was the one closer. I have one a half hour from me, and then Country Junction is a hour.
it's an hour. Okay, man, I
Yeah,
know that we had a local hobby shop 2 3 years ago, and it closed, man. That was my daycare. My wife, when she want to get rid of me, I'm gonna drop you off in ours.
right.
Gonna take you to your daycare. So yeah, I mean, that's I
I
got
would have to act up just so I get dropped off.
right, right.
Oh no, don't drop me there.
Kurt RC, welcome in. David, welcome in. Rex, Cindy, Soin and Jason there on the chat. Robert, welcome in, brother. We miss anybody that's came in. Thank you so much for coming and joining us. We appreciate your support every Monday. Thank you so much. There, Isaac, how was your weekend, brother?
Was good. It was my wife's birthday weekend, so it was all about my wife, so which is great. Yeah,
I got to support the Simon Major, right?
that's right. Whatever that is, Air Force things. Yeah. Uh, no, it's a good weekend. We're getting into that nice spring weather here up on the Panhandle, so I'm
Nice,
enjoying
nice.
70-degree sunny days and all that good stuff.
Awesome. Good stuff there. Lyndon, welcome in, brother. Walker's welcome in. Pablo, welcome in. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Real quick before we go on special guest, also want to give a shout out. Last Thursday, right, Dennis and Son Jay and a few of our veterans, we were on a show, Urban Legend RC, right? Ty and Lyndon, it was there. All the boys out there, everybody that came in on the chat, interview with Operation 11 Charlie, learning about the organization, right? Helping us spread the word, about the organization, mental health, veteran suicide, all that stuff. Uh, thank you so much. The guys make us feel very welcome, man. Very welcome. So huge shout out to them, man. Thank you for having us, right? Um, Real quick, also we were this past weekend, a couple of our chapters were very busy doing their special outings, right? Huge shout out to our Fort Mitchell and Fort Benning chapter there. They were hanging out there with the families and friends, some new veterans that came in, Larry and everybody, C Ty and all the guys, Robert, Teresa, all the guys on there. So they went out to the rocks, a little bit of rock therapy there on the rocks and Flat Rock down in Fort Benning area. So thank you so much for the guy. That's what it's all about, man. Our guys going out, hanging out with each other, the brotherhood, and building memories out there with the family members and our guys, keep that mental health, you know, it's awesome, man. Awesome stuff there in that, our guys there in that chapter. Thank you so much. I want to share those pictures with you guys. Also, I want to share it with our local guys here down. Thank you to Scale Mountain, David from Scale Mountain. Also opened their doors here for our local chapter here in Florida. So we were there in Bellevue, Florida. Our guys there, amazing stuff, man. David keeps adding more stuff to this crawler course, guys. So it was awesome, man. Keep adding on more stuff. That thing is huge now there in that area. Good weather there. Our guys had an amazing time there, man, on those rocks and whatnot. And like I said, all the guys from Scale Mountains, David and the boys there, always, making us feel so welcome. So we really appreciate that. So we cannot thank you guys enough. So thank you so much, man. So some of the pics here, some of the guys there working some on new stuff there. So awesome, man. Thank you so much for that. I know our California chapter also was busy as well, doing some stuff there. So thank you guys for the hard work behind the scenes and whatnot. So Let me see here. Do we have anybody that came in that we missed? 907 Arctic, welcome in. Robert, Curtis, welcome in. If we miss anybody, thank you. Thank you so much
Rob
for
Gunning.
Rob Gunning, welcome in, brother. Welcome in, welcome in. So, guys, all this question that we've been posting here, thank you, thank you. Help me out there. So now, anything else that we need to discuss, guys, before we go with Tony here? We talk about everything, right? Anything else that I think I forgot to mention? No, I think we cover any events that, some of our guys also was talking to Robert Scare Rat. They were at the Zombie Palooza down there in Georgia. They had an amazing time down there as well. So huge shout out to them and all the guys from that event that had an amazing time down there. Don't be telling me how many days we got left for BTC. I'll kick you out. Where's that button? So I'll kick Dennis out. What is it here? Stop video. Okay, stop video. Someone Walker's welcome in, brother. Let me see here. Oh, guys, I post in the chat. While we talk with Tony, the website and what Tony is all about. Feel free to ask any questions here in the chat. So I'll be posting again, but it's pinned to the top. So Tony, again, welcome in, brother.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome stuff. Tony, if you can, tell the people a little bit about yourself and, and let's talk about the organization, everything that you guys do for our veterans, man.
About 8 years ago, I was working as a contractor with the city of Indianapolis, taking care of city-owned properties.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, their land bank is a good way of thinking about it. We took care of anywhere between 500 to 1,000 properties annually, between debris removal, mowing, everything.
Mm-hmm.
And in August of one year, I can't remember, I want to say it was about 7.5 years ago, I was sent to a property to run off a squatter. But they gave me the squatter's name and cell phone number, and that kind of struck me as a bit odd.
Mm-hmm.
And so I did some research before I got there. The property that this Marine was staying at used to be his parents', but all the kids lost it when the parents passed away. Nobody stepped up to take care of it. So a hot August night, he was pretty much sleeping on a mattress underneath a tree with a piece of plastic over it, and spoiled food sitting in the cooler beside his bed. And because of the neighborhood, I always carry my trusty sidearm. He thought I was actually there to do some harm at first. And I'm like, no, Lewis, I'm just here to see what the deal is. I walked away from him. In the matter of about 30 seconds, I made the decision to buy the house from the city and flip it. I pretty much gave it to him, but I gave it to his family because I suspected he was still having drug issues.
Mm-hmm.
But a couple of his nephews were responsible young men, and I gave the house to them, and they've taken care of him since. And then I spent about a year and a half. Everybody was on the bandwagon, of course, when that happened. They thought the sky was going to fall in, and the world was rosy.
Yeah.
So I spent a couple of years figuring out how can we serve the homeless veteran community. And I'll be honest, I was clueless as to how bad it was. Completely clueless. I had kind of, I crawled under a rock myself when I got out. I kept my head down and just looked out for myself. Didn't even read the newspaper.
Yeah.
So once I made a path and a decision as to the best way to go, I got to put on the boxing gloves for the next 3 years at the city of Indianapolis to get approved. Because guess what? When you actually try to fix the problem, the people that run the cities don't want to fix it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the reality. We have a ridiculous ordinance here that you cannot build a single family home less than 800 square feet standalone on a lot. But yet we can put a studio apartment above a liquor store with 300 square feet. So those were the kind of struggles I had to deal with to finally get approved.
Mm-hmm.
And then since the project started, our local cement plants ran out of concrete right when I was ready to pour foundations. A big construction company here in town was going to take care of the foundations for me. And I called them and said, "Hey, I'm ready." They said, "We can't get concrete. You got to go to a different plant." So back to the city, back to the plans, all that stuff. Got a new foundation system approved, put it in place. Then COVID. I have been hit by every conceivable thing you can imagine. And I've not given up. It's almost cost me quite a bit personally and mentally, but I'm not giving up.
Man, brother.
Here in Marion County, since I started the project, we have averaged anywhere between 40 to 50 veterans a month that have a HUD-VASH voucher, which is basically a veteran's choice voucher.
Yes.
And there's no place to live. Now that's twofold. They may not choose to live there, and we probably wouldn't put our mothers or ourselves in those homes. Or there's not any vacancy in an area they would want to live in.
Yeah.
So I'm the first contractor in over 50 years to pull a permit for a 1-bedroom, 1-bath in Indianapolis.
Wow.
They just don't. Everybody's shied away from them.
Mhm.
And I can't blame them, because if you invest in real estate, you want the ROI.
Yeah.
And it's not there on a 1-bedroom, 1-bath. So that's where I've found a niche that will make Steadfast successful, in my opinion. One thing that we decided to do different as a group when we were founding all our stuff, 100% of the donations always and only go to the construction. From materials, electricians, plumbers, because some places you have to hire those guys.
Yeah.
But that is where our donations go. Our donations will never go to the operating cost of Steadfast. We've decided to let Uncle Sam do that for us, because we are going to take the HUD-VASH voucher.
Mm-hmm.
That money goes into a separate account, pays the mortgage note on the construction loan, and that's what's going to pay the staff to do the day-to-day management, operation, and future growth. And I was not going to get involved with a nonprofit if we were going to take donated dollars and use it to pay people other than a trade to get a service back from them. So that's kind of the short version.
Mm-hmm.
And a little bit crazy to be also. So
Awesome, Tony. First of all, man, thank you for doing this for our brothers and sisters, man. There's a lot of need for our guys, right? That we trying to share what's going on. A lot of people don't understand. A lot of the civilians, a lot of some of us veterans, we don't know how bad is out there for some of our guys, man. And until you get your hands dirty with the stuff out there, it's when you start, learning and understanding what is out there, what our guys are going through. So man, amazing stuff, Tony. I cannot thank you enough, brother, for this. It's something that is needed. It's needed for our guys, man. So I know there's a few questions on Jay. Feel free to jump in if you want to ask us. Some here in the chat and are here on the panel that want to read those questions for Tony. I know there's a few that were answered here. Jeremy, welcome in, brothers.
hey, Josh,
Tony, do you get the? Oh, sorry.
Go ahead,
I've got
Josh.
a favor to ask you, Josh. Do you know how to get in touch with Mike Moore? He'd like to join in.
I might be able to message him on Facebook, but tell him to look for in his message request,
Okay.
and then I can send him an invite. Hobby, I can do it here, I think, as long as you've allowed me.
Okay, yeah. Let me share here.
Sorry
Are
about
you?
that, fellas.
No
That's
worries,
okay.
brother. No worries. No worries. So let me see here some other questions here that we any other answers on Jay on this one?
So as far as the one I had, he pretty much answered everything on how he got started and
Okay.
some of the challenges he's faced. But I know he has some service, so if he feels comfortable, I would like to hear a little bit about your service time, if you feel comfortable doing
I was in the Air Force, and because, like I mentioned before, I'm just going to leave it at that because
Mm,
too many people in the past tried to make it about my past accomplishments and
mm-hmm,
stuff.
that. Mm-hmm.
I
mm-hmm,
don't
mm-hmm.
exist in my
Yeah,
mind. I'm
yep.
doing this to honor the homeless vets, and that is first and foremost my mission. I'm a
Amen.
brother with all you guys. I'm happy for what I've done. I don't have any ill feelings. I want to sit in the back and be quiet.
Amen.
Well,
Hold on.
With
Who,
the
brother?
with the
Yeah.
exception of shows like this, I don't even really want the veterans living in our community to know I'm the one that built it.
right.
Totally understand. Totally understand, Tony. Tony, I'm gonna share here. Uh, Let me see if we can open. Josh, you want to share something first or no?
I'll send in that email real quick.
Okay, okay. So here, Tony, this is the website right here, right?
Yep.
Of So I put it in the chat, guys. Also, it's pinned to the top here. So some of the stuff that you guys been working on and doing. This is some of the projects and your vision here that will see how to help our veterans out, man. This is awesome, man. Anything here that you want to share, discuss some of our guys so people can understand the website? What is Project 57?
Well, not only am I a veteran, I'm a dyslexic veteran.
Okay.
When I started Project 57, we had 57 veterans with a voucher and no home to live.
Oh, okay. Yes, you mentioned earlier. Yep.
So that's what the number was when the day I did it. And I said, you know what? That sounds good. Let's just roll
Yeah.
with it.
Awesome.
That picture you see right there is I'm the first guy in Indiana to be building a home on a helical pier.
Okay.
Those helical piers go in the ground anywhere from 15 to 25 feet. And once they hit a specific torque, which they refer to as a kip in the engineering world, the machine automatically stops screwing it in.
Mm-hmm.
You can see the knuckle attachments where they had to bring it up for all of them to be 2 foot. We cut all the piers off at that point and then set saddle brackets in it. And that's what we attach the rim joist to for the houses.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of joke with people. I am the farthest thing from an environmentalist until I saw those helical piers go in.
Mm.
If anybody knows anything about construction, to pour or to do a foundation for 17 525 square foot homes, if you were to do the slabs, you can just imagine the number of equipment,
Mm-hmm.
cement trucks, etc., that was
Cost.
coming and going into that property. All of the helical piers for this project were set in a matter of 3 days with 3 guys in
Wow.
inclement weather.
Wow.
And to me, that was a huge success because I didn't have cement trucks running around, didn't have to move a bunch of earth. It minimizes excavation and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure there's a significant cost in there too, compared to that than going to concrete pads.
It actually was cheaper.
Well, yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
concrete's so out of control priced anymore.
yeah. And I actually like the versatility of those because while it appears like a mobile home, that's what a lot of people think. Yeah, in that next picture you're showing there, I had to put in a complete new infrastructure, water,
Mhm.
sewer, and underground electrical, all of it. This was an old mobile home park.
Wow.
Speed, efficiency, and the cost sold me on those helical piers because you can see how nice and level they all are.
Yeah, that's
Um,
nice.
and the other advantage I see to them, we want to build in other areas continually. We can go set helical piers 6 months to a year in advance before we ever start the project.
Mm.
And they can just sit there. AES put underground electrical for us in. That was a huge blessing. Sorry, I got off on a sidetrack
No,
there.
no, good, good. We want all this information, Tony. This is your show. Feel free. We want people to understand. And let me interrupt you real quick, here real quick. Guys, all the information you guys know every time we bring other nonprofits here for veterans that they do stuff for veterans here, it is knowledge that you guys can benefit from, help out, share it with other veterans, family members, somebody you may know down the road that will need help. Uh, like the work that Tony is doing here, that's why we pin their website here on the top, and share this and see how you guys always ask us how we can help our veterans out. So all this stuff is connected, right? With us bringing awareness to the mental health, the PTSD, veteran suicide, all this stuff gets connected with stuff like Tony is doing for our veterans, brothers and sisters. So this is awesome, man.
Well, the other thing I'd like to share on that is when you become a developer,
hmm
the city and everybody else wanted me to do duplexes,
Okay.
fourplex, all these other things. And I just went back to the main feeling that I had. Our veterans deserve a single standalone structure.
Yeah.
That when the
There,
guy next door farts, you don't hear it.
Yeah.
it's
And
their castle.
Yeah.
exactly,
Yeah.
and I even made you guys will get a kick out of this, and I made a screw up that saved me over $10,000. Have you ever heard of that before?
No.
Those first two houses you see in there, we framed in all the windows where I had them because I wanted to have, like, there's Mike Moore. That's Mr. the fickle fish that got us on here.
Mike. Welcome, Mike.
I was standing in the first house and I looked down to the other one, and it dawned on me that you could have stood in the very first house and seen through all the windows all the way down to the end. And that was a major screw up, but I wanted the guys to have big windows and everything else. So I removed two of the windows on the north side of all the houses. It was a screw up, but saved me over 10 grand in the process.
Oversight. I think you call that an oversight.
Yeah. But I've never been a developer for. I've been a general contractor, getting my hands dirty and everything. After I got out of the Air Force, I worked for LA City Fire as a paramedic firefighter. And I think that scrambled me more up than my time in the Air Force did. But it took a good friend of mine for California to point out, you're not running a nonprofit, Tony. You became a real estate developer and didn't realize it.
Yeah.
So you're scratch building the buildings as well, then.
To a degree, I have a company here in the state of Indiana called Gold Standard Truss.
hmm
They basically manufacture the walls in the prison at Putnamville. And I'm able to get the walls and sheeting assembled, brought out, and the trusses.
Oh, nice.
So
Okay.
it's not completely stick built. I was reluctant to go with them when I initially heard they were in the prisons. They pay the guys minimum wage for the state, which as a prisoner, that's above wage. And whatever the difference is between what they can earn as a prisoner and the minimum wage goes into a savings account for them. So when they get out, and they all guarantee them a job, that when they get out, they have full-time employment. That to me was a good program.
Yeah, absolutely.
And there's actually a veteran down there currently that has a HUD-VASH voucher waiting for him when he gets out.
Wow, man.
Awesome.
So, yeah. So it's not 100% stick built, but it is.
Right.
We,
No, but that's awesome that you're utilizing multiple needs. I mean, not only are you helping the veterans for housing, but you're also putting back into the community a little bit as well by helping some of the prisoners possibly getting themselves in a better position and a better life once they get out for their time.
one of my mentors that I had when we started this was the veteran service officer at the time for the city of Indianapolis.
Mm-hmm.
And we were having a beer one night, and he basically broke it down that on a monthly basis, there is an organization that goes to every city around our country telling them they can fix homeless veterans' issues. And after they give them a nice presentation, they turn around and ask them for $2 to $5 million. And if the cities had that money, they would be taking care of it. And so I had that little ace in the back of the pocket when I went in front of the city for approval. I didn't ask them for a dime, and all their jaws fell over. I actually started this with a hard money lender and my own self. That's how I started all this. I did wind up getting a federally backed loan for low income housing at a very good rate, but that took me a year to go through to get.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I've pretty much done this without city money.
Nice.
And like I said, I borrowed the money from the Fed. I'm personally in debt over $1 million right now. Yeah.
Well, Tony, man, people like yourself, like the organization that you represent, and it just, you got to do what we got to do, brother. And then boots on the ground, man. Like we always say, we got to do what we got to. If not, who's gonna take care of our guys, right? So I cannot, man. Again, I mentioned it earlier. Thank you, bro, for doing what you're doing, man, because it's so important for our guys to feel like it's somebody out there, right? That is out there for them, and giving them a second chance, second or third chance, and they know they have a safe place, like Joe mentioned earlier, for them to start over, right? Whatever their situation in the past, all that stuff is they get a second chance and have a support system that will guide them out there, make them, give them a purpose, right? How many times we have mentioned this, when we lose purpose, it's them stuff that happens. That's why we got homeless veterans. Our guys end up in addictions, or that's why we get so many veterans that commit suicide, when we lose our purpose and don't have that support system around them, man. So thank you, Tom.
I'm going to share something with you guys you may not know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to name the organization that I personally know of, because they do help in some aspects, but do you guys realize there's a lot of organizations that are out there to help the homeless veterans? And basically HUD-VASH is, I'm just going to make it simple, they've got a list of 10 rules or requirements to get that voucher. The organizations that are the one providing the housing, they feel they have the ability to put another 10 sets of rules or restrictions on top of it. And I made some people's eye rolls when they said, well, what are yours going to be? Whatever HUD's is. They're like, what? I said, HUD's the one paying the rent. If
Mhm.
they give them 10 criteria and they've met it, I'm good. It's not my, and that's what gets me is people do things like that and they still want to say, well, we're helping. Excuse me.
Go
We're
ahead. No.
helping, but we have our set of rules.
Mm-hmm. And it's crazy, Tony. Thank you for bringing that up. It's like I always said, how are you gonna have adding more stress for this veterans, right? That either with addiction, mental health problems, PTSD, whatever it is, right? How you gonna add more to it instead of making it accessible? You kind of making it more that taking that away from them. So I don't understand that either. Let's help them out. They have their own rules for a reason why we need to add more to it instead of taking care of those guys. We're not.
You
That's
know,
just
probably and Mike Moore's heard me say this quite a few times. All I'm going to ask of is the veterans that live in our community treat these homes the dignity and respect that you're being treated with by being
yes.
invited to live here. That's
Yes.
it.
Be grateful. Yeah, be grateful. Yeah.
You know, if you see something that's on the ground that needs to be picked up, if you can't
Yeah.
do it, ask somebody to help you do it. I,
Yeah.
I get it. There's going to be some that can't do it,
Yeah.
but I kind of want you guys to talk to Mike Moore a little bit. I know I sprung him on you, but
Yeah. Yeah.
he's the
Definitely.
reason
Definitely, Tony.
I'm here, and he's also pretty much almost my right hand guy when he's not selling Harleys on the side.
Mike, if you could put your phone, are you on your phone? I see. Can you put it sideways? There you go, brother.
All
Is
right.
it, will it change? No, I think it's not. So let's go back to it was. It usually brings,
He might
yeah.
have his rotation lock on.
Yeah, I
Okay.
might have that. Hang on. Yeah, I do.
Okay. So put that on, then put A, you go, Mike.
There you go.
Oh my gosh, you're big.
I haven't been called big in a long time.
Yeah.
Mike, welcome in, brother. Thank you for being here with us, man. Josh can tell you, right? We were talking about before, hey, how we can bring more veteran nonprofits out here so we could talk about all the programs out there that help our veteran. So Josh, go ahead, brother.
So I was watching Sick Week and they zoomed in on their truck and I was like, I wonder what that's about. So I looked into it and brought it to the guys here and uh sorry you had some problems with Sick Week, but that truck brought national attention, if not international attention to the
Yeah,
organization. That's just awesome for you to have that truck done up that way.
yeah,
Thank you. It's been a work in progress. Originally, it was black, and we just did the letters on the side, and then my son ended up putting a yellow bumper on the front of it. And some of the veterans that I've met over the years doing the Sick Week said, "Keep the yellow bumper because we can find you on the videos." So when I decided to raise money to get the wrap done, I told the designer that I wanted it to be bold and stand out so that when we were on the videos that it stood out immediately and drew attention. It may not be fast, but it looks good.
For those people watching that don't know, here is the truck.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah,
Nice.
so that's a gorgeous wrap and
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah, a guy here in Avon, Detailed Dreams, did it. We've been invited to go to the Little 500 up in Anderson. The one that designed the truck wants to show it off. He's got a booth up there, and then I don't know if you guys follow Cletus or not, but I've got an
Yeah.
entry into Cletus and cars here in Indianapolis. As long as I get my motor rebuilt, and that's my next step is rebuild that engine, the bent rod that I had. A little
is that
too
a
much.
Turbo LS truck?
No, it's nitrous
Nitrous LS?
LS. Yeah. Um, at Six Summer, we had a fueling issue, and if I've got the videos on my phone, on my website and YouTube channel. But anyways, we had a nitrous backfire and bent two valves in the cylinders, and I think I hurt the rods also. I threw some heads on it. We went to sick week, and then as soon as I hit it with 300 shot of nitrous, it started making some funny noises. But
I know that too.
I got to make one pass at sick week, and they have what's called a bullseye, and I hit the bullseye for the day. So I actually won on my single pass that I made. So
Nice.
Awesome.
What
Plan.
was the bullseye that day?
do what?
What was the bullseye number?
Oh, 28, I think. Oh, 28. Or no, 28.28.
28. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was thinking it went out to the third number, and I'm like, I didn't even come close. And then I saw who they had one person that they had said had won, and I'm like, wait a minute, if they won, I'm closer to that and that because I had broke, they had marked me down as out, but I was still in until the following day.
Right.
So they ended up pulling it out and moving the DQ to the next day, and that got me the win. Unfortunately, the person that they had told won the first day, they had to go back and tell him that he didn't, but that's
Yeah,
part of it, I
that's
guess.
never fun. For people that don't know, the bullseye class, you can run any front number. So if your car in a quarter mile runs a 12, you want to make the last two numbers the 28 for that day. And whoever's closest or hits dead on wins the bullseye. I'm sure with
Yeah.
a 300 shot, you're faster than a 12.
Well, not with it making all the noise. I was actually a 1628.
Oh, okay.
So, and I thought I thought I was gonna go a 20. And
Right.
I hit the gas a little bit after the 8th mile just to bump it up, because I thought I'm not going fast enough at all. And then I got my slip and it was a 16. And I'm like, well, heck, that was faster than I thought it was going to be. So,
But
as
that's
far
an
as
awesome
these,
truck getting it out there. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Mike.
with all this going on, down there in Florida, the guy that built one of Cletus's cars and is building Mullet. He's got a car. He's going to be running 22 at the Freedom 500 at the Freedom Factory. And I texted him the other day and I said, well, since you're running the 22, could you make that car celebrate the veterans? And, tell him the 22 is a number for the veterans, that
Yeah.
on average, 22 veterans commit suicide a day. And so he's agreed to do that. I don't know what organization he's going to represent. I'm sure it'll be one local
Mhm.
to Florida, but I thought that was kind of cool that he,
Awesome.
CJ?
yeah, CJ.
Yeah, we were there last year. They did an Horizon Fest, did an event there at that location there, Mike, and we were there. We took some of our veterans out there, and they had an amazing time out there. They met Cletus and all the guys on there. So yeah, we looking forward to go back there and hang out because they had an amazing time.
Yeah, I'm going to go for their next list race on the 20th. I'm going to try to make it over there. I'm going to
Oh,
Florida
nice.
next week. So
Awesome.
I'm going to try to go down there and talk to CJ and tell him if he wants to get stickers and stuff, just go to the local recruiter. That's what I did on my Circle Track car, and they
Hmm.
stickered the whole car up with
Yes, yeah.
all the different branches.
Yep.
They thought it was cool, and then we had Steadfast and red, white, and blue on the back of it. So
Awesome. Awesome, man. Awesome. Awesome stuff. So Mike, how do you got involved with Tony
through racing,
for
um,
racing?
yeah, in 2019, I had gotten involved with a sprint car organization to host a race out at Raceway Park, Indianapolis Raceway Park. And the owner of that series said, hey, you're a veteran. I want you to meet
Hmm.
Tony. He's here from Indianapolis and he's got some stuff that's going on. And me and Tony hit it off from there, and we've been friends ever since. Uh, all the ups and downs and all that COVID and um, we've raised money here or there, and
Awesome, man.
Mike's actually responsible for finding the helical piers.
Wow.
Nice.
that was a Sunday after or Sunday morning find. And I'd say it was divine intervention because I wasn't looking for it. It just popped up on Facebook, and
Wow.
I clicked on it and went from there. So, because at that point in time, concrete, we couldn't get it. And with the shortages here in Indianapolis and all that and the expense of it, and those popped up. And I said, hey, Tony, have you looked into these? And it turned out to be a blessing, I think, because saves a lot of time and money.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I did learn a valuable lesson. If a city official approves it on a Friday, it gets installed on Saturday and is done by Sunday, so they cannot backpedal.
Yes.
Absolutely.
It was approved on Friday, guys. I don't know what to tell you.
And
Here's the paper.
make sure you don't get your stuff approved right when the city council's getting ready to change hands too.
Yeah. Wow. Let me see here. We were talking about showing the Steadfast website, guys. So, if anybody wants to come in and be part of or share anything that is needed, Tony, where do they reach out? I know I've been posted that, and I don't know what happened to my thing here, but it got like froze here on my end.
To not inundate my personal mailbox, info, info at steadfastveterans.org is a good place for people to reach out. I check it on a daily basis, just to be able to filter some. What we've done, and I've got the 4 houses that are left to go up. We've got 13 of the 17 up. I have sponsors for all 4 of those homes.
Wow.
So this summer, corporations, if you guys come through Indianapolis, please visit St. Elmo's, Harry and Izzy's Steakhouse. They sponsored a house.
Wow.
They're actually going to be coming out and building their home. I had hoped to do that last year, but the way my funding went, I had to get as many up as quick as possible.
Yeah, yeah.
Though the subfloors went up in June or July, Mike. Would that be all right?
That sounds about right.
And by November, I had all 13 under roof and shingled and windows in.
Wow.
And then this bitter cold winter really did not help because we couldn't even get heat out there.
Wow.
But yeah, if somebody knows of a corporation or a business that would like to sponsor a home, we've set it up that they can actually sponsor a home, get all the marketing benefits of it. Their people can come out and do it. And what's really interesting is if you take a 5-year period, sponsoring a home for about $27,000 to $30,000 is going to generate. Hold on, I don't want to misspeak because I hate doing that.
Well, while you look, go ahead, Tony.
If a company donates, say, $25,000 over 5 years, that generates $66,000 for us.
Wow.
That basically builds 2 more homes.
Incredible.
And I don't know how many people that can tell somebody, hey, your donation is actually going to generate income and let us build 2 more homes. So there's been a lot of planning and late night calls to figure out the best way to approach this.
Tony, there is also a wait until we'd like to talk to you more after the show or later on. Guys, when is the date for Badlands? If anybody can have the date so we can share that with Tony and Mike.
we'll be out there June 18th to start setup and stuff.
June
So it'll
18th.
be that Thursday, Friday, or we're rolling in Wednesday, so then it's the Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
So Saturday is
There,
the last day of the event. Tony and
yeah,
Mike are the invite is extended for you guys there. We would like to hopefully we can meet you guys in person. You can meet some of the veterans and whatnot, and meet a lot of the people out there and whatnot. And
19th, 20th, 21st. Sorry, Hobby.
yeah. No, go ahead, brother. So
19th,
that will
20th.
be awesome. And that is Attica, Indiana. Attica, Indiana. I don't know how far is that from you guys out there, but at least hopefully you guys we want to plan there come a day so we could talk more and all that stuff, Tony, and then I can introduce you to some of the guys there from that event or something that that's awesome. It's local to you guys, man. That will be awesome, man.
Maybe
Okay.
Mike will have his truck running by then.
I hope to have my truck running by the 12th because that's the first show I got.
Yeah.
There's a
So
car show.
yeah, Badlands Off-Road Park is an awesome location there, guys. Badlands Off-Road Park. I don't know if you guys have hear about that. But
I,
it's
don't- I think that's about an hour from me, maybe.
from you.
Yeah.
Well, we'll be driving there from Florida. Always take us a couple of days. It's 18 hours, but we don't drive all that stuff. But we
I'm
have
getting
there. Go
I'm
ahead.
getting ready to drive to Venice. So
Sweet. So I not usually we got a lot of our veterans. Last year we had how many veterans we had, Josh, there? Maybe 30 veterans? 40
There
people
was a
with
bunch.
family. Yeah.
There was a bunch, and you had a house full.
And we had a house full. Shout out to Horizon, our sponsor, always helping us out there. So we had a house full of veterans and some guys at the hotels out there. So yeah, man, it was awesome, man. Man, oh my goodness. So I want to share this. I know we talk about how to get involved. I saw this here on your website. Uh, guys, man, Steadfast for Veterans, guys. Here get how to get involved. So here click in there, stay in contact with them on whatnot, how you can get involved and help out, man. It's so important. Again, what these guys are doing, man. How many is our brothers and sisters out there homeless and whatnot, man. We need more people like this, more organization like this to help out and with boots on the ground, help our guys out, man. It's so important. So the website is pinned to the top here, guys. So look into it. Share the information, man. Like we said earlier, you may know a veteran, a family member, or down the road. Oh, I remember about it. There's a nonprofit I heard about. Share that. Save this out there that make help our guys out, man. It's so important, so important. Mike, I know it depends on Tony. It depends on the fundings and whatnot. But what is the goal throughout the year? Are you guys like trying to start before the winter comes in? I know that's hard to determine, right? To organize like that. But what is your goal every year?
Well,
To start and finish.
I know Tony would like to go to Florida soon, and then I know he's talked about going to Ruth Chris. Is it not Ruth Chris? I said it wrong. I know they want to go. They want one built down in Tennessee, a community. But it's to expand to do a couple more neighborhoods. A neighborhood or two a year. Is Tony's goal.
Mm-hmm.
I've realized I tried using subcontractors for this project. The next project I'll have a staff ourselves. I've tried it. I didn't get the quality I wanted and the consistency. These are not complicated homes.
Okay.
Just to give you an idea, the very last one of the 13 we put up after I had a crew of about 3 or 4 guys that had done quite a few of them.
Mm-hmm.
We had the house set up under roof in one day.
Wow.
From subfloor. And that's because they knew what they were doing. And reality is, subs don't want to come out and do framing on something like that. It's not big enough. They have to do 4 or 5 of them to make it worth their while. And then they want to treat it like you're building some complicated 10,000 square foot home when it's basically a garage with 4 walls and a bathroom in it.
Yeah.
Just elevated. So, and I tried to stick to the KISS approach in designing it. All the houses are identical. The floor plans are just mirrored to make the utility runs shorter. So we've got electrical coming in one side and water in the other. But financial goal, I don't think the way the economy is right now, I'm even going to try to set fundraising goals. People don't have the money to donate, and businesses don't.
Yeah.
So I put on the real estate developer hat and go find funding that's feasible for construction loans.
Yeah.
And if we get blessed and so, you know, like here, I've got 4 houses donated.
Okay.
That's great. Would it be nice to have more? Yeah, but I don't hold my breath for those anymore.
Yeah.
And if the IRS goes away, I've asked Mike, the IRS goes away, what's it going to do to nonprofits? Now there's no benefit to donate.
Right. There's not much benefit now to donate, according to my tax person. So, but one thing I did want to bring up was whenever there's a stereotype when you talk about homeless. I had it when I started, and then I got a realization and realized that it's not necessarily the person that's sitting out on the street that's homeless.
Yeah.
On Apple TV, there's a show called Shrinking, and there's a homeless guy on there. He's living on mom and dad's couch, but he's got a little brother that's 11 years old. He's having trouble reacclimating into society. Mom and dad kick him out of the house because his mental stability is not there, and but he's living on the couch, so he's couch surfing from one house to the next. Those are some of the guys that we're looking at too, not just the ones that are on the street that you see when you're driving downtown at different, cities and that kind of thing, or Washington, D.C., where the guys are acting like they're veterans and they're not actual veterans. They're just stealing people's money. But that's whenever I try to explain to people, I'm like, they're not necessarily homeless as they're living on the street or whatever. They're living on somebody's couch, and they're just not able to acclimate themselves back into society. And it makes they're trying, they're having trouble making the next step. And that's where Tony's organization, when he started that, jumps in and makes the step. And that's one reason when he told me about it, I was like, I'm in. And
something else, I don't know how familiar you guys are with the term wraparound services.
No, well, enlighten us. What is that, Tony?
The mental health, physical, financial, everything that goes along with it.
Yes.
There are over a handful of organizations in Indianapolis that provide the wraparound services for the veteran. Do you know how many of those organizations provide housing? 1.
Wow.
And so what we did when we founded and we're looking at everything, we are not providing any services to the veteran. Our service to the veteran is that home. That's it. Because I am a believer in do one thing and do it well, and not trying to dilute it, because I think that's part of our problem. When you've got over 5 organizations that, oh, well, we help house veterans. How many homes do you own? None. We just find landlords.
Yeah.
Okay. And I mean, if we touched on it earlier. I was one of the first ones to pull 1-bedroom, 1-bath permits here. Mike's son is in real estate. How many 1-bedroom, 1-baths are on the market, Mike?
0.
0.
Yeah.
How do you go to an investor and tell them, I want to rent your 2-bedroom, 1-bath out for less than market rate to help a veteran? What kind of answer do you get from a Mike?
Well, until you start explaining it, you get, what are you talking, go fly a kite. But my son is making a little bit of a difference. His partner actually rented to a veteran that had a voucher, and they're starting to get some of the other investors here in Indianapolis to go along the same route and explain to them how they can actually not lose money by renting to these individuals. They, they start out at a certain rent fixed rate, but as they start acclimating and they get a job, then their rent goes up. They have to pay the extra back to the renter. Now, those are the next step. Those are above where Tony's at. These are some of the next step ones that are, they're able to hold a job, and that's part of their treatment is they have to hold a job and show financial stability, have a bank account, and all that stuff. So it's kind of neat because you see different aspects of this program and different, and my son being heavily involved in the real estate market downtown, he has a huge involvement in the real estate, which at 23 years old, I don't know how he's doing it, but he's a wheeler and dealer, I guess. So,
Amen to that, Mike. Amen to that. I see a question there, Sanjay. You want to go over ask that question there, brother?
Yeah, I wanted to know, like, how do you go about finding the veterans that you find to try to support them? And do you have any trouble getting them to take the homes, like to take that step?
Actually, we don't even try to find them. When we have openings, we just reach out to the VA, and they've got pretty much a waiting list of people with vouchers.
Yes.
I do tell them I want people that are. I go back to the respectful side because we all know when I'm talking about that. I do not care anything about somebody. I just want you to have an ounce of respect for what you're getting, and you're going to be treated with equal respect.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, the caseworkers are very understanding and respectful of that. They've identified the people that have got their chip on their shoulder that just don't want to live in a community. And if push comes to shove, would I take them in? Yes. But I would be very mindful of them.
Yeah.
But I think I don't ever see a problem with our homes being completely full when we're done, for one simple reason. It's a new construction, 1-bedroom, 1-bath home where you don't have to share walls. And I would encourage all of you to go look around your communities and see what type of homes are being made available for our veterans.
Oh,
Mike Mike could probably touch on that a bit better because of his son's experience.
Well, I can tell you that at our double that we have downtown Indianapolis, we actually had a veteran come in, and our house had been broken into by some of the neighborhood crack addicts. And they went in to check out the house, and actually people were running out of the house, and he said, I'm not living there. So I was kind of surprised. I'm like, you're being offered this here, but I also understood, that there was people camping out in our house that we didn't even know about. It was like we were there 2 days before, and had everything cleaned up. And then they came in and trashed the house, and we had to go in and do it again, get it all ready again. But we actually had a veteran say, no, I don't feel comfortable living in that house. And that's the one thing when Tony talks about respect, I respect his decision. You know, if I would have walked up to that, I wouldn't have wanted to live there. Since then, we've gotten with the neighborhood police department, and they've made sure they actually have a camera on our house now because of the way the alley sits, trying to take care of some of the drug problem in the neighborhood. But like Tony was talking about some of the housing, I went to volunteer with through work at one of the places, and they actually had 4 or 5 veterans living in one house. They had like 10 different units in this one area, and we went clean up the yards and stuff. And that was the first time I had been around one of the programs. And I'm like, okay, these guys are fit enough that why aren't they out here taking care of their stuff? And then I realized my brain started working, and I'm like, oh, these are homeless veterans, but they had 4 of them and living in one unit. And, you know, you get a bad apple in one of those units and it's going to destroy everybody. And that's what's so nice about Tony's is the guy can go in there and he only has to rely on himself. He doesn't have to rely on a roommate to keep his sanity.
Yeah.
When we designed the house, we designed it to where a queen size bed can fit in the bedroom, and you can walk around it on all 3 sides. I've seen too many of these homes that their idea is shoving a bed into the corner and going, well, bedroom's big enough. No, it's not. You know, I don't know if you guys have ever changed a sheet in an RV camper. That's about the most asinine thing to have to do.
Yeah, bro.
And you have to live that way all the time? I don't think so.
Yeah.
My son Max actually went into a house that was called a 10-unit apartment that was actually just a house that had been turned into 10 units. The laundry room literally was considered a unit. And somebody actually was living in there and paying for it as if it was an apartment. And he's like, no. He said, I can't sell this as a 10-unit building. Even though it was fully rented, he never did get it sold because he just wouldn't do it. And that one didn't have veterans. That one actually had mental hospital people that were mentally ill.
Yeah.
And but still, it's human beings. You're putting them in there like sardines, and basically you're stealing the hospital's money when you're doing that. And that just wasn't it.
The other nice thing about the location of our project, it's right by 4 bus lines. And one of them is probably, I would say, less than a 10-minute ride to Rattibush VA Medical Center.
Okay.
One line
good.
right down the road.
That is good.
I'm not even going to touch the transportation aspect of it.
Yeah.
Because there's other groups that provide transportation.
Also, the VAs, some VAs, you know, they go pick them up as well. Depends on the programs and whatnot, where they're located at as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you guys know much about the VASH voucher.
Yeah.
You have a social worker.
Yes.
They come and visit you. You just don't get turned loose.
Yes.
So that's where it goes back to the other groups that have got another 10 set of rules. If the social worker's coming to visit them,
there's no need.
Let them do their job.
Yeah, there's no need to add more to it.
The only part we are going to do is once we're 100% capacity, I'm going to try to find maybe 4 or 5 vets themselves that would be advocates that could take on 2 or 3 veterans.
Mentors, yep.
That if they're having a problem with getting a service, glasses, anything, they've got somebody who is not a part of the service. They are just there as a brother to talk to them. What is your problem? My caseworker's this or that, whatever. That person then can reach out to the social worker and say, hey, he's complaining about this. What's the problem?
That is a good idea, Tony. That will simplify a lot of stuff. You know, us as veterans, sometimes we don't trust and whoever is talking to us. If are you a veteran, so you don't understand, you know what I'm saying? Kind of like we put that wall right there and we stop listening and whatnot. So having that will definitely will help that and minimize and help those guys how to get them back on track, man. Definitely that's a tremendous idea, man.
And that's as close as we're going to providing services,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
is just having somebody to be a mediator.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, that is good. That is good. That was one of my questions, but I know about that program, and I know this is they don't give the voucher out. That's it. It's a stay in contact. They monitor the veteran, all that stuff, you know. And I love it. I love that. That's something that is needed. And adding your what you do, it makes it, man, more simpler for those guys in a way, you know, how to get them back on track, man. Um,
And if you guys field any questions from the website and the photos, any stairs you see on our property right now are
hmm
temporary construction stairs.
hmm
It'll be about a 4-foot porch on the front of each house. When and if the time comes, one of these veterans needs a wheelchair, we've got a plan in place to put in one of those aluminum wheelchair ramps in front of their house.
That was my next question, because I know we have a bunch of guys that are in wheelchairs or whatnot. You know, their mobility canes or stuff too. They're not as
But
mobile. So okay.
in reality, we have a VA nursing home up in West Lafayette.
Mm-hmm.
If they're having an extended health issue, they would be better served up there.
Okay.
Our homes are set up to be ADA accessible, but we do not have to do that because they're for veterans. They're a
I got
protected class. We don't have to build them that way. But all the doorways are wide enough and all that stuff. So if somebody does get injured, they're in a wheelchair for a bit, they will fit around their house.
you.
Nice.
I wanna, hey, let me share that shit here. There's something here on your on a lot of you guys, right? They like to do stats. Well, just reach out, guys, and locally whatnot. You know, having programs like Steadfast here with Tony and Mike like this is what our guys need. How make it stuff simpler. Making stuff simpler, man. It's like I don't know how to word this. I don't sound alike, but us that we work with mental health and whatnot, you know, calling a hotline, right? I don't know, Mike, you remember before we had to dial 1-800 number, how us in the mental state or in a nurse, whatever breakdown is, that all the numbers, right? Well, then when you call that number, you got to add a bunch of stuff instead of just nine, whatever it is, the numbers are right now. Make it simpler, right?
I think on
Especially,
our homepage, we've got that number right on the top banner, if I'm not mistaken.
yes, you do, right here, right here.
Yep.
But it's more simpler now than before, you know, make it simpler the situation, especially a guy with you know with suicide thoughts and whatnot. Not let's not I'm not gonna think right there at the moment, you know. I had breakdowns in the past and my wife had to deal. I'm blessed that I have my wife, right? That's why a lot of these guys don't have family members or whatnot, somebody support system that could help them out, you know. And then so I'm blessed. If, without her, I don't know where I'd be, but it's hard.
Well,
It's hard.
I
Go
want
ahead.
to comment on this page you're on. You notice how I've not touched it for quite a while? It's got old numbers.
Yes, yes, yes.
A good friend of mine, she is a case manager
Mm-hmm.
for a VA in another state.
Mm-hmm.
We had a conversation, and there's a reason why I don't even go off these numbers anymore.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If the VA houses a single veteran 5 times in a year, guess what they count?
What?
5.
Oh, yeah.
So if that's their approach to housing a single veteran 5 times, the next conversation she and I had, and I'm just going to pick a year at random for discussion.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say it's 2020 and you have 30,000 homeless veterans. And then in 2021, they come out and go, we've only got 25,000 homeless veterans. None of them turn and look at the veteran suicides.
Oh, yeah.
And in 2020, they would have 5,000 veteran suicides.
Yeah.
Now, I can agree in its rational thinking, it's probably not 100% accurate that everybody who commits suicide is homeless.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
But if you're homeless or facing housing stability and you are already suffering PTSD, addiction issues, can we all agree how that statistic goes up higher and higher for that person?
Yeah.
And the suicide side does not talk to the homeless side. And when she confirmed that for me, I just looked at that page number and said, I'm not even going to waste my time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they don't even talk about the female homeless veterans.
Oh, yeah.
And you would have to be a fool to look at the statistics and go, wait a minute, where's the female? Because it's like 98% male. Almost anybody will open up their doors to the female veteran to couch surf and bounce from house to house. So they never
Yeah.
get counted.
Oh,
Except for the ones that have a kid.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the organizations will look at a single mom with a child and say, nope, we don't, you're not eligible. And
Since I have been building this project, I've had 5 mothers with children. One had 2, the other one were all just single moms and single kids. Nobody provides housing for those women. And I'm going to if I have women that have a voucher and need to live there, I will make accommodations for them. Because it just blows me away.
yeah.
About every year I learn something new that I just have to turn around and walk away because it's disgusting and saddening.
Yeah. Yeah. And it takes away a lot mentally and physically. You said, Tony, before, Mike, what you guys do, some other stuff, the horrors or stuff that you understand. So why? How can I turn a female with a kid? You know what I'm saying? Back instead of let me see how can I help? Let me see. I cannot, but let me see. Hold on a second. So yeah, brother, it's incredible, man. Prayers for you, man, and your family, all you guys, man, because I know it takes a toll mentally, physically. I know we know, I know how that, so wow.
Tony, with
You
the
guys
area,
have go ahead.
with the area that you're doing right now, with the 17 homes, what is your projected date for occupancy?
You would ask the tricky question, wouldn't you? I was hoping we would have been done by January, but the reality is I have 2 units left to get electrical roughed in. All 13 are plumbing roughed in at this point. I've already got the insulation donated, the flooring sitting there. I would hope to have residents living there in less than 6 to 8 weeks.
Because I completely understand about the weather. Being in Ohio, we had those couple weeks of 0 and colder.
Yeah.
So it stops everything.
Well, I'm not one of those project managers that are going to say, well, you're out of the wind, go work. If you don't want to get frostbite going to the porta potty and it's that cold, you're not going to be productive and you're going to make mistakes.
Mhm.
Stay home. It's not
Or shortcuts.
exactly.
Right. You can't put 8 layers on to go outside, hit the porta john, and then come back in and take 8 layers off and be productive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've always, everybody that's came out there, I've told them, don't try to do a speed job. Do slow and consistent so it's right the first time.
Yeah.
And that's unheard of in the construction industry.
Yeah.
I've learned that lesson the hard way.
Yeah, this is everybody's square in construction.
Yeah. A square? What's a square?
And a level.
I'm not trained for that.
But yeah, I can tell you through all the trials and tribulations, by the end of 2025, that entire place will be done.
Amen. Amen to
That
that.
includes, I've got a house on the front of it that I'm going to put another 2 or 3 units in, but that gets edited out because the city doesn't know that yet.
Mhm.
I also
And
have
then,
another question as far as the construction of the home. Now, you have them on the piers. Now, is that skirting that goes around like a mobile home, or is that finished to the ground?
No, it'll be skirting like a mobile home. I'm going to use the fake stone that's got insulation on it. That's what will go around the bottom of it for the nice visual effect.
Okay.
Basically, it's 2x12 rim joist, 2x10 floor joist, and I'll just throw out I don't know how much you guys have ever done construction. If you're putting down subfloors, don't use anything but Advantech. If you get anything else, you are just setting yourself up for failure.
And minimum half-inch.
Yes. But the Advantech with its, I think it's 3/4, that stuff goes together good, and it's worth the money. I tried a lesser product on one home and I sent the rest of it back. And that's the other thing I'm guilty of. I'm borderline a perfectionist when it comes to this. There's a lot of things I'm not accepting, which has probably caused some delays.
Yeah, but that standard will come forth in the future when the maintenance side eventually at some point it's always going to be there, will be considerably lower than what it would have been if you cut corners.
Well, that and like the heating and cooling aspect. I've got a couple of large electric baseboard heaters, but in the front room, in the bedroom, I've got a wall mounted infrared forced air heater, but there's one in each. So there's actually 4 heating sources in each house.
Wow.
And then the bedroom has got a window AC mounted in the wall, and the living room has got one mounted in the wall. So I've built in redundancy that some people in the building industry look at like, what are you doing? Well, if that one breaks on a Friday, they still have air conditioning over the weekend. And the odds of 2 of them breaking are slim to none. And the really nice thing is I didn't have to get an HVAC permit to do the way we did. And when one of those window units break, I don't have to call out a licensed HVAC person to deal with it. I take one out, put one in, plug it in, done.
Absolutely.
So sometimes cheaper is better and more effective.
Simplicity.
Yeah, exactly. The KISS approach.
Well, as far as a subfloor goes too, you're using a better quality material, something that's got some longevity to it.
Well, given the fact that we are going to own the homes as Steadfast, I didn't want to build junk. But I also didn't feel it was right to give our veterans junk either.
Yeah. Yeah.
And some of these new vinyl villages, in my opinion, are junk.
Yeah. Vinyl village.
And now don't laugh at me. I went with vinyl siding to save cost because of certain things, but we don't look like a normal vinyl village.
Right. It's just a term. It was funny.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of them out there nowadays.
I just saw TikTok. There's some in Texas that they're literally putting cardboard sheeting behind the brick.
Oh Lord.
And if they get a good gust of wind before they get the brick on, the entire houses are falling. I just can't even imagine it got passed for code. That I was dumbfounded when I saw that.
It's just incredible. Yeah, yeah.
What have I answered most of your guys' questions?
Yes, you have, Tony. Yes, you have.
Yeah.
And we appreciate sharing this, brother. Like I said, Tony and Mike, we like to bring organization like that to, put the word out there. You don't know who's listening, you don't know who's in need, and you don't know who family members, friends, or whoever are in need of something like this. So, and please share this. What these guys are doing for our brothers and sisters is awesome, man. Questions here in the panel that you guys have for Mike and Tony, or anybody in the chat before we start saying our goodbye soon, guys. So let us know here. We put the information there how to get a hold of you guys there. I've been posting the stuff in the chat here so they can get a hold of us. If you guys anybody see this show later on after today, please they want to reach out to Mike and Tony. If you guys will not find the website, please share reach out to any of us here. We'll guide you in the right directions here. Man, so that's awesome. Also, I saw there, and go ahead.
I saw in the chat Mike was in the Navy.
Oh, Mike was in the Navy? At least, oh, so we got a Navy guy. So we got one Army guy, 4 Air Force guys, and one Navy guy. That's good. That's good. Thank you for
Well,
your service. Go ahead, bro. Welcome home.
Somebody's got to pay the Marines.
Right. Hey, I know a Marine. Who is it? I was in the VA, some kind of appointment. I always joke. You know how we do. Joke around us. And this older veteran came in. It was a Marine guy, so the Navy guy there, younger guy. So thank you, man. Appreciate. Thank you for being my Uber, taking me out. So that was up, man. That's awesome, man. So Ierc Supreme. So Joseph, welcome in, brother. So I'm a commercial real estate appraiser. Is there any way I can help? Please let me know. That's one of our veterans, Tony, from California area. He does that nationwide. So he said how he can help.
Well, first of all, yeah, he's the first one I came across on the commercial side that could give me, I think, the completed construction estimate value on this property. Any commercial realtor here in the state of Indiana wants an arm and a leg to just give you a ballpark idea of what the property's worth. And potentially, maybe he could provide some insight on the commercial side for other states to start moving into. Because I did not sign up to be a real estate developer when I helped Lewis. And now I'm knee deep in it, and I think I'm doing a pretty good job, but I'm willing to admit I don't know everything.
Okay, that's good. I will put you in contact. I will put Joseph in contact with you, vice versa, Tony, if you allow me. Amazing person, Joseph, one of our veterans there from California, one of our reps there in California. That's all he does, man. So awesome. Good stuff. Good stuff there. What else, guys? Any more questions here in the panel in the chat for Mike and Tony?
Man,
We
you
good?
did a good job. I really don't have any. Just finding ways to help.
Yes. So also he also has a broker's license as well. Please put me in. I will, Joseph. I will do this after the show. I'll put give information to Tony and Mike, see how he can help out and whatnot. So yeah, good stuff, Joseph. Amazing guy, humble guy, Joseph there. So I think we cover everything. Anything else, Mike and Tony, that you guys want? I think you mentioned everything. Anything else that you want to let the people know before we start saying our goodbyes?
Not that I can think of. Thank you for the opportunity. It's a pleasure meeting you all.
Thank you. Go ahead, Mike.
just follow our Facebook page. Whenever we go through the year, and we'll have little fundraisers here and there, and then we Tony posts up, or I'll post up progress reports on our Facebook page more than just following along. So
Yes, yes. And also we keep anything that we can help out. Well, hopefully we can bring you again, uh, uh, down the road, guys, to any updates and all this stuff, so we can help more, share more of the stuff that you guys do here. Uh, David, our chapters in California. We have one in Tulare area, Visalia area. We have one in Northern California. I mean, North Hollywood there. We have a chapter in Apple Valley, and also we have a veteran Northern California. They're on the border of Oregon. If you reach out to us, or anybody reach out to you in an email, be patient, man. We have our volunteers. We'll keep answering all the emails. So we get tons and tons of emails, and then we'll get back to you, brother. So if not, he's in Sacramento. So we have one of our guys there right now. He's not as active right now at the moment, but he is in Sacramento. And one of our sponsors is JJ Custom. He's in San Jose, close to Sacramento. But please stay in touch, man. Stay in touch with us, and then just be patient with us. Yeah, our guys are working very hard, very hard. Our volunteers, so we get hundreds of emails. So again, let me see else. I think that's it. Next Monday, I believe next Monday is a motor pool Monday, guys. So yep, it's a motor pool Monday. So next Monday is gonna be a motor pool Monday. We'll be hanging out here with our guys and whatnot. Anything that we have this weekend coming up, Josh, Dennis, any event, Joe? I don't think there's no event coming up, right?
No, not this weekend.
Nope.
I
Not
know.
that I know.
Yes, we have our VA outing with the VA hospital is gonna be next month. We already did this month with the VA hospital. We have some other stuff with the other chapters here nationwide, and we'll keep you guys posted. Again, so let's start saying our goodbyes. Go ahead, Sanjay.
Great live. Thanks for you two coming on here, and blessings with your time here and being able to spread the word on what you guys are doing. It's phenomenal what you do. I think this it takes a lot for you to go through all the struggles you've been dealing with and taking on the burdens of all the financial things you've been dealing with. That's tremendous. So hats off to you, man. Appreciate everything. So
Thank you.
keep fighting a good fight. Thank you.
Cool. Thank you, Sanjay, brother. Josh, go ahead, man.
Thanks for everybody in the chat stopping in and supporting us. Big thanks to Anthony and Mike for coming in and talking about the project they do, an amazing project, and getting national coverage of it with Mike's truck. That's awesome of him to have it out there bringing in people, and that's how we found you. So good job with that, Mike. I mean, that's awesome. And everyone on the panel, thanks for coming in, and we'll see you on the next one.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you, guys. Dennis, go ahead, brother.
Another Monday in the books. Anthony, Mike, appreciate you guys for jumping in and letting us know what you guys are all about. And thank you for your service. And everybody in chat, thanks for hanging out and joining us on another Monday Alive.
Awesome. Cool. Thank you, brother. Joe, go ahead, man.
Anthony and Mike, it's great to see all the tribulations and trials and all the hardship, but it's you're still on track, you're still on focus, and the light's at the end of the tunnel. And even though Mother Nature's kicking your butt, it's you're still not that far away. And putting out the information that the average person doesn't really know. I'm not a veteran myself, but willing to help anybody that needs help and try to enjoy life. And what you guys have done to go over and beyond and to try to put it out there and given somebody that has nothing, that risked everything, a place to lay his head is just,
Yeah.
it's amazing. And, you know, honestly, like I wish I had millions of dollars and I could just fund everything for you.
Yeah.
But, you know, we're all blessed in different ways and do where we can. So support 100 Help. I'm going to go to work tomorrow, and, you know, I've got some transportation sponsors that I could potentially get thrown at, some help to you, that I'm going to put forth the information to them to see if maybe they might bite onto it. And, you know, every little bit helps. So
Hmm.
it's, appreciate you guys doing what you do. And it's great to hear that there's still good people out in this world.
Amen. Amen. Well said, Joe. Well said, brother. Mike, go ahead, brother.
Me?
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for having us on. I was kind of surprised about my truck getting that much exposure, but it's good that it is.
Yeah.
If I would have been racing, it would have got a lot more, but I drove it all over Florida on the trailer just so it would get the exposure. So I appreciate you guys having us on for that.
Yeah.
Thank you for everyone that donates and supports us. And I tell Tony that we've got 75% done, but we're in the 25% that takes 75% of the time.
Cool.
So it even though we're there, it's just we're in the detail stages now, so it takes a lot longer to happen. So
Thank you, Mike. Amazing stuff, like Joe says, you guys do, man. Yeah, brother. Tony, go ahead, man.
Well, I appreciate the opportunity, and I want to take this chance to thank Mike for doing what he's done, because he goes above and beyond behind the scenes. And if I'm hot out there in the summertime and need a case of water, I don't hesitate to call him and say, Mike, I didn't have time to grab some. Will you bring me some?
Yeah.
He's never told me no, and I appreciate that. And I'm just glad I had an opportunity to get on here and spread the word. And for those of you guys that are in Ohio, we're not that far, and we're out there every Saturday. So, you know, if you want to come over, bring your kids, let them see what it's about. When you guys are coming up from Florida, swing by
Def
and say hi, because we're not far from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Definitely, we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that, and we're gonna make plan now this year. We see you in what, 3, 4 months. We'll see you guys. We always drive days before, so we're gonna make sure that we stop and talk to you guys. I keep you guys posted beforehand too, so we can plan accordingly. But Tony and Mike, stay here so we can say a proper goodbye after the show. So thank you, Tony. Thank you, Mike. All the people on the panel, man, sharing this information, nonprofit like the Steadfast for Veterans is so important, guys. Getting that knowledge is, and spreading the word. You don't know who a family member, friend, whoever down the road may need this information. So please share that and follow these guys, man. They have boots on the ground, doing the hard work, man. It's amazing. So thank you so much, guys, for the support, and we'll see you next Monday. Peace. Be safe, family.